Today, I want to tell you about 3 crops that you might not know about that you can grow in Zone 7A, even though they are tropical. Do you see this beautiful leaf right here? This is taro. Last year, I embarked on a journey to see if I could grow taro here in Zone 7A. This is what taro looks like. It is a little root ball like this and is starchy like a potato. It is super delicious in stews, and I know Hawaiian people love taro. You can go to an Asian grocery store and buy taro, and it will not have this sprout like this. You want to grab the taro, put it in a container, and spritz it with some water. Keep it moist, but not in water, because otherwise it will rot. And in a few days, it will start developing a shoot just like this. And this is what becomes the plant, just like this. Once my taro develops a little shoot like this, I put it in a pot with some soil, and I barely cover it so that the shoot is just popping right above the soil level. And very soon, it will start creating some leaves. Once the taro has leaves, it's gonna look like this. Then I will take these plants from here and put them out into my yard once there is no danger of frost. Taro is very sensitive to frost, so you don't want to put it out before there could be a frost. In the fall, you can harvest your taro. The bulb that you plant in the spring will produce some side shoots, and hopefully you get enough sunny days and warm days for it to produce a crop. Last year I grew them out and I didn't have enough time for them to produce a lot of side crop. So this year I'm planting them out as early as possible, and I'm watching the weather really closely right now, and I probably will plant them in the next 10 days. If you're interested in watching that video, I'll link it down below. So go ahead and click that link below and watch the results from last year's taro. The second crop that you can grow in Zone 7A is ginger. Ginger is a tropical plant and it grows well in humidity and really hot weather. So our summers in Virginia are quite good for it. But the problem is that it does not overwinter. What you want to do is buy regular ginger from the store and put the ginger root in some water for about 24 hours. And you want to let it hydrate for about 24 hours. Once you have hydrated your ginger for 24 hours, you put the ginger in a bowl, spritz it with a little bit of water, and then if you have a heat mat, put it on top of the heat mat. And my heat mat happens to be right below my grow lights. So the grow lights and the heat mat start inducing a little bit of growth on the ginger. And check out this beautiful ginger right here. It's starting to form a few roots right over here. And I'm excited because I can now put this in a container like this one, and then it will start growing a shoot. This ginger has been growing in here all winter long and it's taking forever to sprout. But it's finally starting to put out some little sprouts right here. And just the other day I noticed that one came up, and this one is special because this is shampoo ginger, and this is a flowering ginger, and it's gonna put a beautiful red flower. This ginger I'm gonna plant in my tropical area, and hopefully I'll get beautiful ginger flowers there this year. The third crop that you can grow in Zone 7A that is a tropical heat-loving plant is the chayote, or huisquil if you are from El Salvador or Central America. Huisquil is related to squash, and squash does really well in our zone, so the trick is to get one of these bad boys to sprout. To plant a chayote is very easy. You want to buy one from the store that is mature enough, and just look for the most green ones. I think those are the ones that are most mature. Get yourself 4 or 5 of them and put them in a bowl. And you're gonna spritz them with water again and put them on top of the heat mat. In a few days, they're gonna start sprouting from the center here at the very top. And this little part right here will start producing a shoot. And once you see that shoot, you wanna put this in a pot of soil, just like this one. Make sure that the split part is pointing upwards because that's where the sprout is gonna come from. Lucky for you, I already did that a while ago, and check this out. The little plant is growing, has tendrils, and this will require a support system like a big trellis. And then you're gonna be able to grow chayote right here in Zone 7A. How cool is that? There's another one right here. Check out that beautiful sprout. And this one already has a nice little true leaf right here. I have a friend who has been growing chayotes like this for quite some time, but I've never been successful enough to grow them. And this year, I think it's gonna be the year for me. Even if I don't get a crop from any of these plants that I just spoke to you about, I'm gonna be a really happy man because these plants bring me joy and they bring me back to my roots, and just seeing the foliage reminds me of home. I have a ton of other plants that I'm growing right now, so if you're interested in those plants, Just keep watching because I'm going to show you everything that I have growing right now that is going to go into the ground in just about 10 days. Right over here I have this canna lilies. These canna lilies have a beautiful foliage and they look like banana plants, and they put a red flower and they are just beautiful. So I'm hoping to propagate a lot of these. I started all these canna lilies from seed and they look beautiful right now. I transplanted them from smaller pots into bigger pots yesterday, so some of them are a little sad, but they'll recover because they grow from a rhizome, so it should be totally fine. Yesterday I spent all day putting one pepper per pot. I separated all of my peppers and I have now individual pots. I'll let them rest for about a week, and in about 10 days I'll probably will be planting these into the ground. You might not be able to grow dragon fruit or pitayas in the ground in zone 7A, but this guy right here is related to the pitaya. It is about a golf ball size fruit and it's edible and it tastes just like a dragon fruit. So, and this one lives outdoors. This one survived the winter. It is a prickly pear, but it's a lot bigger than the usual one. I have one that is about this size, and those are pain in the butt to clean and eat, but this one is a lot larger, and I got it from a friend, so I'm excited. Hopefully I'll get some fruit this year and I can show it to you guys. Last year I grew a ton of papayas outdoors and only 2 of them made it through the winter in my pots. I brought them indoors and they lost a lot of their leaves, but now you can see I brought them outdoors and they're starting to form new leaves. So I'm going to be planting these in the ground in hopes that they have enough time to produce a fruit this year. I also have this beautiful looking plant right here. It is a false cardamom and it smells so heavenly. So if you've never heard of false cardamom, check it out because it is amazingly smelling, and you can use it for cooking and you can use it instead of cinnamon too. Really delicious stuff. It is not hardy to our zone, so you'll have to dig it out and bring it indoors during the winter months. My goal is to turn this little bamboo pergola into a tropical oasis this year. I'm going to be planting all sorts of greenery in here and it's going to feel like I am in the tropics. And it's going to be beautiful. It's going to have bananas, canna lilies, taro leaves, ginger, and I'm going to put a bunch of lemongrass in here as well. So hopefully I can get that feeling that I am in the tropics. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you enjoyed it, please make sure you like it and make sure you're subscribed so you can see the final results this summer when all of the things that I have right here are planted in my tropical garden zen area. See you on the next one.